Hello, hello guys. We are live. Uh, are we live? Yes, yes we are. Bad news. Electricity just went out, so I'll have to use my laptop. I'll have to remove my monitor. So let me do that. I'll just remove this thing, and I'll have my laptop placed here, and I remove this keyboard. Yes. Now let me check my OBS if it's working. Yes, it is. All right. Lalit Singh, how's everything going on? Hello, Lalit. Hello, hello. I'm good. I'm good. Everything is going great. How about you? All right. Uh, Let me just. Should I minimize this thing, right? Or maybe I should, open this thing, close this. Close all. I should open it here. Now, out of the topic, spoiler alert. Do you work remotely? Yes. Yes, I do. Hmm. And if I open this, how is my OBS working? OBS is. Are you able to see my browser? If I just let me just see if I minimize this thing and open the browser along with I think no, you are not able to see it, right? Maybe if I close this thing, then on the screen share section, if I again configure it, instead of built-in retina, so now you can see my screen, I think, right? If I open a browser, okay. Uh, how is the placement of editor and screen going on? And also screen is vertical. The screen is vertical. What the heck? Let me just remove this sharing part. I'll re-edit again. I'll simply add screen capture, and built-in retina. I'll do okay. Let me just put it way down over here. Now I can see it. Just let me hide this OBS from the screen. All right, and code, I think code. What is the alt? I think alt is for control. No, is it option? Yes, great. The browser. Is it okay now? Maybe I'll have to make this browser something similar to. It won't go down from here. All right. How do I see the chats now? Maybe I should just pull it out. All right. I have a issue. If I maybe I can pop out chat only. So that is it. I should see only chat. Maybe I could place it over here. So all right, so I have chat window with me, so I'm not able to see any stats of YouTube. I'll only have chat window over here, so I cannot see how many people are, up. Maybe if I can. Electricity is back, so I should assemble this thing now. That's a good sign. uh, okay, so I have this thing over here. Just drag it. Just one more thing before. All right, so this thing is, if I just make this thing amazing, amazing. I have a browser, I have an editor, and I can see a separate window here. All right, guys, we'll start in a minute. I'm really sorry for the trouble. Just bear with me, please. A shorts format. Yes, I did that on purpose. Uh, it's for mobile stream. So all right. So what are we going to do today? Yesterday we saw something. Let me just go through it. We saw on the repository file. We created a function. We created an endpoint for login and while logging in we created a token also that we responded back to the client. Now I want to validate the token on each request. Now for that I have created a middleware. So if I go over here, I can see I have created a middleware inside wrap authenticate request. Now let's do something over here. So if I go on the authenticate request, I need to fetch the headers, then I need to uh, get the token, then validate that token as well. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, all right. And then once I have jot token, I'll attach that ID that I hard coded over here. I'll remove this thing and we'll do that. So request headers. Now if I go to postman, as you can see over here, login, right? Hi, which language is this? Rust? Yes, yes it is. Now I need to create another endpoint, so to validate the token. So because the login and registration will generate the token, after that I will save it on the client side. Then I'll have to create another post. Let's say it's a protected route. uh, for now I will create I'll create something like fetch all right. I'll create something like this, and we let's suppose we have logged in, so we will call the login as well. So and we will get the token, and on the headers I will update the token, just like replicating a client side, a browser or something like that. When we do credentials true on Axios on the client side, we'll replicate it over here. We'll add the authorization token over here with some changes, the token that we get from login. Okay, so this is our login request. Now let's open terminal as well so that I can run those things over here. I'll go cd document do make run. So let me open postman and see whether you guys are able to see it. Okay, so I'll hit send now. Let's see what this thing says, what our terminal says. Terminal says everything is fine and working. Let me increase its size. All right, let's go to postman. This is our login request. We already have a user registered, so we will log in. These are the login details. On the body I have user login, secret, everything I have like told earlier how this will work. It will fetch the user with the user email from the database. It will compare the hash of the password, and if everything is good, it will return the token to us. All right, if I hit send, so just one more thing, you need to uh, keep track on the terminal over here. So let me just put it over here. So make sure you keep a good eye on the terminal. So if I hit send, it's the post request for login. If I hit send, I can see the log and it went completely successfully, and I get the token on the results. Now this is the token that I need to save on the client side. To replicate that, I will copy. Now the user is logged in, so we are assuming the user is logged in. Now let's suppose there is another API request. So from now on, as soon as the user is logged in, we will have the token on every request to validate each request on the server side. To validate that part, so it's our first part. So let's say there is an API, we didn't created one, but we will create fetch all. So there is an API, let's say it's a protected admin API, let's suppose. So for this, I will create this header and I will update the key as bearer space and the token. So this is how the token will look like this, right? The token will look like this. So like, yeah, so this the token will look like this. Now I need to pass it on every request, so I'll need to make sure. So if I use on the Axios, I'll say credentials true. If I'll configure credentials true, then it will put that token on the header, authorization token. So now let's create this endpoint so that we can validate. We already have our middleware in place. Now let's do one thing. Let's go on the controller. Let's create the route first. So it will be under the scope of users. So I'll say service resource, and the path will be fetch all. So now let's define a route. It will be a get request, and the handler will be fetch all. Now why I'm getting this error? Because I think I have to remove this comma and use it over here. Alright, so I need to declare this thing. If I copy this and let's say I'll have a function somewhere on the controller, user controller, fetch all, right? Now I need to create this function on the controller. Let me copy it. Let's go inside user controller. Uh, Here I'll create a function. So I'll say public async function validate, right? I don't have any payload because I'll just fetch it, but I need a pool, right? So the pool will be uh, data pg pool. All right, it will return something that implements responder. So here I am. Now I need to do something like I'll say let user list equals, I'll create a method on repository that will say fetch users list. All right, it will fetch the users list, and I will await this thing, and inside this, if everything went well, then it's okay. I'll get the list, and if there is any error, I'll return error from here. Some internal server error, JSON, right? Should I do API response string? I'll say status 500 message error occurred, and the results would be none. All right, let me just do few things. I'll have to do this again, this over here, and everything went well. I'll say HTTP response okay dot JSON API response. Again, I'll have to copy these things, so I'll yank it to save some time. I'll say paste. I'll update few things. I'll say instead of 500, I'll go 200, and the message is, I'll say users fetched. The result will be some user list. All right, I have some errors. Expected a fat arrow. Yes, I did some fat arrow. What is this? Are we having a mismatch? No. And what is this for? This. And what is this for? Oh, so I should remove this thing from here. It should be out generally. It's a match. It should be out of the match statement. I should have a semicolon here. All right. So I think this is pretty much. Let me format it. It says expected an expression. Remove this thing. All right. So it says users list. I'll have to select the pass the user list from here, right? So I'll create this function as well. For that I need to pass pool from here. Maybe this thing. All right, I'll pass the pool, and on the user repo I'll have to create the function. What does it says? Let me just go check the it says some user list. Use this to avoid fallback changes. User repo. Of course, I didn't created that thing. That is why it is unable to detect its type. Saktivel Durai, hello. Tinol Boyar, hello. Alright, so let's create this thing then. On the user repo, we will create this thing. Fetch user list. So over here on the struct, I will create another implementation for user repo. So I'll say public async function. This I'll have a pool as pg pool. It will return a result of it should be a vector, right? Vector of user list, a vector of users basically, and it will return something like then error. So is this the correct way that we defined? No. Why? Because I'm missing this thing. Now is it the correct way to define a vector of users? Is this the correct way? I should have the type as well, right? So I'll go on types and to define types. I'll say derive serialize deserialize deserialize debug, and of course one more thing, sqlx from row, right? And I'll say pub struct users. It was users, right? Users, right? So I need to pass the user emails back, because I'll not pass anything. I'll pass user emails only. So I'll say user login, and it will be string, right? So I'll have a vector of users, so something like that. Let me just add it over here, users. All right. On this thing, Now I'll have to fetch the users. Now how do I do that? I'll use, say, I'll have let rows equals, so I'll say sqlx query. I'll use this thing. I'll say select user login from app users, right? I need all of them. I'll say I don't have to do this thing now, so I'll say fetch all, right? I'll say pool dot as ref, right? I'll say dot await. So I'll have rows over here, all right? And if I have rows over here, I can just loop in and push it onto the vector. All right, so it is returning a vector, right? So how do we push? So to test that thing, what I'll do, uh, I will have a rows over here, so I need to print that thing. So for now I have to loop on that thing, right? So do we have anything called rows? So I'll say rows dot get, it's for index, right? uh, can I just rows dot into iter dot uh, rows dot into iter, right? Maybe I should collect them. Should I? What do you think, guys? mm, Push. Maybe if I use collect to vector from PostgreSQL rows in Rust using sqlx. So I think I need to do something like dot collect, but I need only user login. So I'll have to do fetch all, and I'll collect them as author. So let's try this thing. I'll say it vector of users, but I'll have to use query as macro. uh, uh, I don't have fetch all. Select this from this, but I don't have fetch all. It says mismatched. If I do okay rows, shit. Now I have some issue over here. It says let's check on the terminal. It says no rules expected this token in a macro call. While try to match this thing, compiling cannot compile. Expected result of vector of this found this. Let me just do this thing. No rules expected. Maybe a good stack for flow article can do. Notification Yeah. Hello, hi, C Logan. Hello, hello, C Logan. Guys, please like this stream. Come on, do it. Come on, people. I tried and was successful using JWT. Okay, awesome. That is good. Amazing, amazing. So it is using query as everything is string to here, just simplified. You know what? I think we already have this thing query as. I'll have to use this thing as well. Author book row. Uh, this guy is doing something crazy. Uh, this guy is doing something crazy. I'll say users. Can we do that? Set database URL to match query online. Maybe if I do only query, remove this thing. What do we get here? It says expected this found a PG row, vector of PG row. Right, so let me just remove this thing. I'll have a vector of PG row. All right, now let's do for a row in rows. So I need to create a vector and then pass it. So I'll say let mute users list. How do we create a vector? Is it now I'll say no, it should be declared out, right? So if I'll have to make it out, otherwise it will initiate on everything. Though I need to initiate it over here. I'll say user equals maybe user list dot push. I'll say users user login. I'll say row dot get user login. Field was private. I'll have to make it public. Now let's see. uh-huh so everything is done. Now I'll need to pass users list. Amazing, amazing. We did it. Right, I have no error over here. So you can see I fetched everything. Now I have a PG. I'll have a type of something like this. I'll have a vector of PG row. So I'll have a vector of PG row over here, right? Now I loop it on it and I create a vector out. Then I push all the users that I get from the row and I'll return this. All right. Now this is the API that will return something. Now let's test this thing. I should see if I create a fetch all. I should see it. I should see the list. So you can see I have the list of these users: darklord123, darklord456, darklord789, darklord. So these are all the users that are there, all right, on the database. So now this is working, but okay, the endpoint is implemented, but I need to implement the auth validation as well. So how do I know that the request is coming from authorized user? So I have the token, I added it over here, right, on the headers. Now let's go on the main file where I have written my middleware. Hi Roshan, I'll go on authenticate this thing. Here I will fetch the uh, I will fetch the headers, and then I'll have to, you know, validate uh, this thing. So we have 3 likes, 16 people watching. Oh, sorry. Array, I didn't posted it on. Let me just. Should I or should I not? To be or not to be? Oh, I was just. Once I open Twitter, I just lost. I just get lost. Rust, Roshan, Rust. R for Roshan, R for Rust. Run, Forest, run. Run, Roshan, run. Rust, Roshan, Rust. Okay. Guys, नहीं नहीं साथ में चलेंगे. I'll have to leave for a moment. I'll get back after 10. So it's okay if you guys wanna leave, but I'll have to go. I'll be back after my dinner. Thank you guys. I'll see you in a bit. I should pause my camera. Hello, guys. Uh, okay, so I'll be back after few minutes. Hello, hello. I am back. Thank you. Hello, 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 hello everyone. Hello everyone. Hmm. Guys, yeah, you can see this is the red kheer. So the pahadi chawal is red. So the kheer made with red rice. It happens in our native village. It is red in color, high in magnesium. What are you developing? I'm creating an HTTP server in Rust using Actix-Web. Currently, I'm just creating a middleware, updating a middleware template that I created. Now I have created JWT token, so I'll update it. I now validate it with each request. So we need to fetch request headers. How do we do that? Any idea? How do we do that? Maybe. Cool. Yeah. So I'll say maybe let header value equals request dot, maybe I can get headers. Headers uh get, yes, and I have a key, so I'll just, to make sure, I'll just copy this thing. I'll say authorization. So let's see what does it returns. It returns an option, so I should match it. Guys, come on, yeah, give me some likes, come on. After all, why I'm doing this? For likes. Hmm? Hmm? So as you see, this get returns an option. Option has two values. Either it has some value or none. So let's see if we have some and if we have none. If we have none, we'll return none, of course. But if we have some value, I'll say value. I'll do. I'll. Should we print this thing? Let's see how do we get it. Value. Semicolon. Yes, of course. All right. Match arms has incompatible types. Yes, 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 yes. Dollar for the end of the line, at the rate for the beginning of the first character used in the line. Yep. Thanks for the heads up. I really appreciate it. Incompatible types. Maybe instead of this thing, I should return a value and then print it value. That is our header value. I'll call it header value. What is the issue? Match has incompatible arm. So my ID is just a little bit. It says expected reference found option. Expected reference and found an option. What if I say dot to str and then okay. All right, so let's see now what's in the header value. So if I go ahead again, fetch all the users, uh, I'll see on the logs if I can get the header value. So try to, make sure that you see it over here. Just keep your eye on the terminal below this postman window. If I send it, I'm getting this thing value sum bearer. I think it makes sense. I'm getting the header. Yo, sup? Hello, hello, Chechen. What's up? What is that? Hello, Pratap. I already know one Python command. Print. I'm a civil engineer. Yes, 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 yes. Of course, you would have debugged before, building anything on the map. So I'm getting this some header value. All right. I'm getting some, so it makes sense to use if let some statements, right? So I'll say if let some, I have a header value over here, right? Uh, Maybe I'll get auth header here, right? I have a header value, right? It has it's an option. Shuttering hiring manager. Yes, of course. So how was it? So you are only saying, right, that you need to shatter the hiring managers as, or like, was your interview? Was it your interview of for I think React, right? Or I'm just confusing between two guys. I know that you said about shattering hiring managers as well. I just can't remember if you said about you're having an interview or something like that. Yeah, nice. Yeah. So, I mean, it doesn't matter if you have an interview or not. I'm sure that whoever will interview you will get his ash shattered badly. So, I'll have a header value over here. So, let's see if I can get. I'll say println auth header. So, let's remove this and let's see this. So, make sure you have your eye on the terminal below the postman window. I'm just sending it again. I have auth header now. It's a string slice. Now I need to do one thing. So I have already I already have a set of instruction over here, right? Fetch request header, fetch auth token. Now I'm on the step bearer. So let's remove this thing. Now I have a string slice on the auth header. Now you must remember our token is not this entire thing. Our token is not does not start with bearer. It starts from EY. So I need to replace this thing. So how do we replace this thing? First of all, we need to perform a simple check whether the auth header does it start with a bearer or not, right? So we'll see uh, how to. Uh, I mean, in JavaScript there is thing called any string dot contains, so that makes sense there. But I am not sure if we have something like that in this. So say how to check for substrings in an string in Rust. It also has contains, but we don't have hello hello. But it's a string slice we have. Maybe let's check this thing. It's contains, right? So let's go. Maybe it will return true dot contains. I'll say BARER and space. Maybe so the first layer of validation will occur over here. I'll say first layer validation. So make sure you have your eye on the terminal. Uh, now let's hit send again. There's the terminal. If I hit send again, I'm getting first layer of validation as true. So contains works. Merge stack to connect with MI prediction is possible. Merge stack to connect with MI prediction. What is MI prediction? MI prediction, my prediction. MI. I'm not aware of this thing. What is this thing? MI prediction. Is it ML? ML prediction. So it is coming true. So maybe if it's a true, then we can have our first layer over here. I'll say if uh, maybe I could just be it and if it's true, and if it's false, uh, if it's false, maybe we can return an error from here. And what is the type of error? It's the Actix-Web error, right? So I can say uh, return error. uh, Actix-Web, we already have this thing, right? So I can say simply unauth error unauthorized. Yes, error unauthorized, and I'll have say invalid token. So I'll return this thing. All right, so let's remove this. So if the auth header dot contains bearer, that means it's our first layer, and we'll do that. If it's not, then we will return an error of unauthorized, invalid token, we can say. Right. Now let's go inside bearer. Now I need to remove this thing. So what is the method in JavaScript which removes that is a replace, right? We do replace, then that slice is replaced with either with empty space, you know, something like that. So how do we do that? uh, Maybe we can get substring. So we'll say how to remove substring from string in Rust. What I'm thinking of currently without looking, I'm saying something like it should be something like auth header. uh, I'll say let token, it should be something like this, auth header. So bearer, how much it count? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So something like that. I mean, then token will have the value after this thing. I mean, after 7. So, so the first 7 character will be vanished. That's what I think. I'm not sure. But a string has replaced 2. So if I love apples and apples are green, I'll do apples and I'll get yeah. So I think which ID is that? Looks good. Yes, it's newvim nvim. I'm using the template of astro nvim. So okay, so I think we don't have to do this fancy stuff. We already have something similar to JavaScript over here. So I'll do auth header dot replace. It'll return a string from. So from will be S. Okay, so auth header dot replace. Maybe I should show something like BEARER space to this, and then I'll check token. So I'll say println token. So uh, are you able to see what I'm doing? I fetched the token from the header. I checked whether the token contains bearer or not. If it's a bearer substring there, it means it passes our first validation, and after that I'll replace that bearer and then I'll get the token. Or maybe what you can do is you can split the string based on the space, because there is a space between bearer and token, and once you split and convert it into a vector, then you can pull the first element on the vector that will have the token as well. So anyway, whatever suits you. So let's see if we get the token. Keep an eye on the terminal postman window. I'll say send. So I'm getting the token here. So this is the token now. Now I have the token. I need to decode it. So if you guys have remember the two methods on the JSON web token crate provides is encode and decode. And there is a thing, the key that is required to encode a token is also required to decode a token, right? So let's see if we have a key. Of course we'll have a key, but let's see. If I do this, I can see this key. I have a very long key over here. Let's copy this thing. It's encoding key, right? So let's see. Here I have the token. So what I can do, I'll say let decoding key will be env var dot expect key not found. All right. So before we jump out to fetch this thing, we need to make sure we have dot env dot okay. All good. Okay. But are you doing any job right now or something else? I'm doing a job. I'm working remotely. Reva Pal. Hi. Hello, Reva. Uh,
बंद करो हाथ जोड़ के मैं मोदी साहब से गुजारिश करता हूँ
सो हे गाइस, मेरा नाम है कमल और आज के इस ब्लॉग में हमारे घर में एक क्यूट सी लड़की आई थी जो अपने में ही मगन थी। तो हम उसको देखने एक बार हम अपने कॉलेज की ओर निकल जाते हैं तैयार होकर और हम आज देखते हैं कि आज का मौसम बहुत ही अच्छा।
yeah. So I have a decoding key. The same key that I use for encoding I'll be using it for decoding. So before fetching any env URL, I have a battery of 41%. That is good. Oh, wow, that's nice. Remote job are good though nowadays. Free from traffic and shit. Yes, yes. Uh, lot more comfortable than going on to office. I think working from home or any remote job, I think you kind of be on your own environment, so you are kind of a master of every aura or every vibration going on around you. So I think that's what make you more productive than going on office. Yep. And I wish that you will or you should get a remote job. Iron वो अभी नहीं खानी है tablet सुबह. I wish to get the remote job. Yeah. All right. So we have fetched the decoding key. Now, how do we validate this thing? So let's go on this crates.io and let's search for JSON web token. JSON web token, and let's see if we find any. I have a claim. I have a header. I have an encode. I need something to decode. I have this thing, a decoding key and a validation. A validation. So we'll use decode and we will follow it to be claims, so I'll get it everything on claims after decoding. Bro, you think CGPA plays a huge role in landing a job, or skill matters more than CGPA? Uh, so CGPA will play a huge role if you are, getting a job on campus. It will also play a role apart from the skill. It's not only a mandatory skill, but some colleges they have a criteria of letting the students in after a certain uh, CGPA level. So, but off campus, your CGPA, like I mean, you should hold a degree. That's it. But if you are a master of any skill, then you are way better than a guy who is holding a high CGPA degree, but he knows nothing. I mean, I have seen guys with a degree of BCA, but they were so, dedicated that they are, performing well in their remote jobs. They even scored a remote jobs. So guys, by the way, I have a Discord channel as well. If you want to join in, let me just get you the invite and all. Yeah, I'll put a link in the description, but okay, let me do that. So so I have added a description, sorry, a link on the description of my Discord server. So you guys can check that out. Come on, guys. We have around 20 people watching and we have 7 likes. Come on. Let's show the internet you can like a boring stream too. So this is the main function decode token decoding key and all. Let's copy this thing. So we have a decoding key and now let's do one thing. So let's see, I'll say decode. I'm getting it from, it returns a result. All right, so maybe we need to, not maybe, we should match it. What the hell? So we should match it. It takes 3 things. So we'll have a okay, where we will have a decoded thing, where we will have a decoded, right, and we have an error as well. So on the error, what we can do, we can say info, you know what, we should return the error as return error. I'll say error unauthorized, and instead of this thing. I'll say invalid request, right? I'll top it up with the semicolon. Now I need to figure out on in the decoded part what I'll do. I'll have to attach the user in the request, and I have token already, right? I need to pass a key. So again, if you remember, how do we like how did we added a key? So we added something called decoding key, and inside the decoding key we have something called from secret, and inside the from secret we will have our decoding key that we already did fetched, right? I'll take it as a ref. So I have a token, I have a decoding key. Now I need a validation. So for validation, what I'll do, I'll say validation from token, from the JSON web token, and I will use new, and I'll use SHS 256. All right. So it says cannot satisfy deserialize. All right. Why? Because I didn't do this claims. All right. So here on the decoded, I'll check what did I decoded. So I'll have a decoded token or jot token value, right, on the decoded. So let's see. Here I'll attach this thing. So I already have written the attach code, right? This thing. So maybe I should, you know, I will have to, instead of hard coding, now I have everything, a user ID on the subject, right? So over here, what I'll do, I'll first of all I'll remove this thing, and here what I can do, I can have a user ID that I will fetch it. Basically it's in the subject of claim, so I'll do something like that. For now I'll comment it. All right, so let's see what decoded value do we have. All right, so user info, let's all right, so keep your eye on the terminal. Hello Blazers Gaming, what is up? hmm? नहीं अभी तो चलें. बस एक just one more test and then we'll go. So if I send it again, I'll see did I get the decoded token or not. So if I send, I'm getting an error. I get the token, but I'm getting the error. It says error occurred. That's in logger. Alright, I'm getting an error on the fetch all thing. And what is the error? I have a validation as new. So I need to first of all check did I use the default validation for creating a token. Generate token. If I have created a token by, I used header default, right? So I think I have to use the default key, default header to decode as well, but I used the sh256. I think by default it uses hs256, h256. middleware auth.rs. So if I go here, it says end validation default, right? So I'll copy this thing. I'll paste this. Now if I again hit this thing, if I again hit send, so keep an eye on the, I'm still getting the error. I don't know what the error is. So where I'm getting an error, let me just stretch this thing as well. I'm getting a token, but I am not getting any error. I only get error occurred. What could be the case? It has occurred. Invalid token, auth code. I'm getting the on logger. It says error occurred. Maybe I can see the error. Right, again, let's just hit the postman and see if we can see the error. Let me just do this thing. If I send this, I'm getting an error. It says invalid request. So I'm getting an error on auth. I'm getting invalid request. Now let's see what does it take. It takes a string. Can I do something like this? Maybe I can just format it. And then I will see the error now. Come on. So keep an eye on the terminal, guys. If I send, I can see invalid audience. Audience is invalid. Invalid audience. If I do this new HS 256, let's see what I get. I think by default it is sh256, so instead of writing this I could have write default. It says invalid audience. Now that I have defined an audience, I need to decode claims. So I'll say JSON web token create in Rust invalid audience while decoding. So I need to set the audience as well. I need to set the audience as well. So to handle this, you must configure the validation struct to include the audience. I'm doing this in urgency because I'll have to leave now in a minute. So I'll quickly try to figure out if I can, maybe, you know what I should do? On the types, for now, let's remove this thing, audience. Alright, so what I'll do, I'll hit the login again because I need to generate a new token now. So I'll have to generate a new token now. So if I go, I hit again. I'm getting claims does not have this field. Audience JWT impl. Let's comment this thing. Alright, I'll have to relog in. I'll fix this on next stream because I'll have to quickly leave somewhere. So if I run this, I'm getting this invalid audience again. 401 invalid request, invalid audience. I see. I'll have to, because I'm passing on the body as headers as well, right? So I'll have to remove this thing. I'll have to quickly do a send. I will see the token now, and then I will copy this token, and with the fetch all I'll have to update this thing. Now you need to check. Let's see if we get the decoded value. Now I'll again hit send. Now you can see I have a decoded token. As you can see, I have token data, header, and something like that. So let me copy this thing, and on the text editor I'll show you what I get. So I got this after decoding. So on the sub, as you can see, header, type some jot algorithm, and on the claims I get sub 7. So this is my user ID. A subject is a user ID. So I'll attach this thing on the user data. So that will be for the next time. I'll have to leave in urgency. So thank you guys. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining in. I really appreciate you guys, watching me code and liking the stream. I really appreciate it. I have posted my Discord server URL on the description, so make sure to join that server too. We have a small community that help each other, and we have few other channels there as well, where I try to post the job updates where from wherever I get. I'll see you next time, guys. Bye 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 bye.